You when I walk home. So yes, Matt Holloway. I'm the vice president of UCC Alliances for AudioCodes. Actually, just been here for over 8 months. What I want to do today, and I kind of walk you through, so you can run out of the room if you don't like the agenda, is just kind of take you through what we're going to do. AudioCodes at a glance. I want to tell you who we are, above and beyond every logo you see and your lanyards that you're wearing today. And of course, I want to kind of take you through the market trends and what it means going forward. But everything wrapped around a UCC overview, where we are and what we're doing, and why AudioCodes is the trusted partner that you need to use and continue to go forward with. So again, who we are and what we do. Everybody knows of AudioCodes, not exactly sure what we do. We cover a lot of things, and if we take a look at where we are with Microsoft Teams and everything that we enable over 50% of the voice traffic on Microsoft Teams. So we are the #1 SBC provider in the world. And we continue to develop and build everything that we're doing here. So one of the things I want to show you and talk to you about today is who we are. 28 years. We are the DNA of voice. This is where we started, right? So we started with DSP cards back in the day. And when we look at what we're doing, we have 120 plus countries that we cover, over 1,000 employees that just focus on voice and everything wrapped around voice and enabling it. Our 400 technical experts are the best in the business. They can solve a problem instantly with everything that we currently do. And again, if you see where we are the #1 Teams voice partner for Microsoft, which I mentioned earlier. Again, we cover so much. This is why everybody kind of wonders where we are and what we do and who we are. And I kind of want to cover off everything. We do everything from an IP phone to meeting rooms. We follow it, the gateways and SBCs that we're so well known for, and of course our management systems, but our virtual cloud native SBCs as well. We've done everything within the cloud, and everything is cloud enabled. And then if you look on the right, our OVOC, our management platform, the #1 management platform in the marketplace today, Meeting Insights, Voice AI Connect, SmartTap, and Voca. So what does this mean? This kind of covers everything that we do in a nutshell, very simply. But what we've also done is created AudioCodes Live, a platform as a service and a software as a solution as a service, where we've taken the best of our intellectual property and wrapped it into a simple per user per month offering. And we can talk a little more about that as well. But you see, we cover everything from hardware straight through the enterprise services and the managed services, but also the applications as well. This is what makes us so unique in the marketplace. There's no other vendor that does what we do. And this is really so the next thing I want to do is kind of cover some of the things, what we're looking at. And I love this, believe it or not, my yoga teacher told me this line: change is inevitable, growth is optional. Now you looked at me and said, oh my God, he does yoga, but we'll talk about that another time. But this is a quote from John Maxwell. So again, I kind of like this because this is everything that we kind of went through with COVID, when we learned what we were doing and how we're doing it and where we're going forward. I like this slide, and the reason is, it's the good, the bad, and the potato boss. People forget, we're in year 3 of this. When we first started, there was this mad rush to what's going on. We didn't know what we were doing. Everybody picked up their, whatever they needed, their laptops and devices, but never went back to the office for years. Right? So again, it was a huge shift. 50% of the populace just worked from home all of a sudden. It was a huge shift and change. Of course, telehealth, telemedicine, everything great. This one is actually kind of funny. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. That is a Ohio State senator who decided to do a distracted driver bill as he's driving in his car with his background, and everybody can see his seatbelt. I don't think the bill passed, or it actually did pass a little further. But again, talking about the bad and the bad behavior wrapped around it associated with it. But one of the ones at the bottom, I just actually love this and the humanity associated with this. This is a woman who came home. She needed to manage her team. She just got on. She decided to put a filter on as a joke. She couldn't take it off for the entire thing. She actually is a motivational speaker right now, and she was the potato boss for the longest time. So again, when we look at this, we have the good, the bad, and the potato boss. So I always say, let's try to be the potato boss, because humanity, we've taken what we've done with technology and everything that happened with COVID, and we've made it better. And we've taken the best of everything that we have, and we're trying to continue to move it forward. So again, it's just a really interesting time, and we see in the digital transformation, we see in the drivers, again, a lot of these things that we have going forward, you guys are well aware of. But affordability, agility, scalability, right? It was just versus we need to make it work, right? How do we do that? Business continuity. Well, we learned. I spent my years prior to this, when the Asiatic flu came out, doing pandemic planning. I tell you, I wasn't prepared. What we put in our paper years ago, 10, 15 years ago, was not anything that happened when we really had a pandemic. We didn't understand the global impact of it. We thought we could move all the data centers from Asia and we could move them over to Europe or, in Latin America. But that's not really what happened. There you go. I'm not sure. I'm going to need help on that one. Yeah. So, when we saw it, and it was really just a huge shift in everything that we've done. You see the drivers wrapped around it. Luckily, I'm loud. I don't think it fits my head. We'll go with that. Better? All right. Yeah, try that. There you go. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, okay. No, it's not. We'll move on to that one. Thank you very much. So again, when we look at all the drivers and everything that, these are the key differentiators out there. So we're going to see the transition to cloud. We're all aware of it. But, when COVID hit, we did the fast, how to make it work. Everybody just deployed the licenses they had, the people who work from home. It really was the collaborative, the knowledge workers that were using the platform, but then everybody needed to work it. And again, we continue to see this driver. And, when we see the market trends wrapped around it, I mean, look, 51% already said they'd standardize on Microsoft today. Right? Oh, I'm going to stand over to this side this time. So when we look at it, 60% say they're going to do it in a year, and 61% say they're going to do it in 2 years. The growth from 2017 when it first launched to where it is now is just unprecedented. And what we've seen is everybody who had these on-prem systems, we've seen a huge challenge in how they want to move forward and how they continue to develop it. We currently have, 270 monthly active users currently going on. And again, when we look at it, they're saying about 80 million people use Teams phone systems today. These are huge numbers, and we continue to see these drivers. And this is really the differentiated where we are and how we continue to capitalize on this and look at I'm going to call it the third wave. And, when we take a look at where we are, from 2020 to 2022, enterprise rushed around home. Like I said, they went out, they needed to implement what they needed to do to keep business going. And then what we see in this, the phase return, hybrid work is one of those conversations that we'll continue to see grow and build. And, how do we do it? How do we get the democratization? How do we have the people who work from home and everybody was using Teams to communicate and collaborate now going back to the office and making sure we're doing it right? And of course, 2020, the hybrid workplaces can be the new normal. There was actually the CEO of IBM just stated that 20% of his entire workforce only comes in 2 to 3 times a day, and he expects it never to go above 60% ever. So again, we're seeing this huge shift and this huge adoption of a different work modality. I don't know if you guys are followers on Twitter, Rate My Room. It's actually pretty funny. When you take a look at some of the, this is why we need to have a better employee experience, and we need to better enable our work from home employees as well. But we also have to make sure that we're doing the same on the next side of the house, back in the office. So when we're looking at phones, meeting rooms, cameras, we need to have the best experience possible. We look at teachers who went home with a poor laptop and tried to actually do telehealth, teleeducation to their end clients. They did the best they could. I mean, half of them were on Chromebooks and they couldn't figure out how to actually move it forward. Now we see a better adoption, a better way to do it. And we see better collaborative ways going forward. This one, the bottom one, is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen is the up the nose shot, which I always kind of cracks me up. So you see everybody do this, with the cameras. They didn't understand. They think my camera and my laptop's great, but the camera and the laptop was not built for the right studio effect that we're looking for. So again, when we look at things and how we kind of continue to go, actually, I love this slide. So, I did a Bing search for working from home, and I love the fact that working from home funny came up. So then I grabbed the top first meme off associated with it. But one of the things, and this is actually Nick Bloom did this, and if you don't know him, he's fantastic. You should really listen to him. Stanford Graduate School of Business, him and his partners actually did a whole paper wrapped around it. And they learned it took 13 hours for people to be effective at home. By the time they actually started doing and everything they're doing wrapped around it. But the average employee investment was almost $500, over $600, wrapped around the devices and equipment that he needed. You've seen people change to standing desks. I don't know how many employees you see kind of walking around, kind of changing how they're doing it. But they now see that 6 hours worth of savings actually by actually having to work from home, work for any model. The other survey, and the little interesting fact, which I kind of find unique, is 97%. So a lot of the time savings is not just commuting, it's actually getting dressed for work. So 97% say they get dressed. I don't know about the next 3%, what they do when they go to work or to the office, but they say 73% actually don't just go in their sweats when they go to work. So again, it's a very interesting time wrapped around what we're doing, what we're seeing. But one of the things that I don't want to forget about is, look, voice is the best. When I first started in this industry, I started in the service provider, and I walked in, my manager was standing in the room with people, and I was very excited. I was a new engineer there, and this was going to be great. And he said, what do you want to work on, data or voice? Because back in the day, nothing was unified. I said, ooh, voice sounds cool. And this old voice engineer looked at me, he goes, no, you don't want to do that. I said, why? He goes, well, data works no matter what, you screw up. Voice doesn't. When voice doesn't work, people are not happy. And we're going to continue to see that, we do use other modalities to communicate and collaborate, but we need to see the best what we need. And you know what? A call breaks down if I can't hear it, right? And these are the things that we continue to see. Adam Grant, he's our organizational site. I don't know if you Think Again book, if you've ever seen and written what he has and what he's got. You know what? I love this because, again, huge advocate of what goes on in the workplace. You don't need people in the office every day. That's absolutely true. We see that people are more effective working from home. We also see that the most underused technology is phones, believe it or not. But when we got away and we started using soft phones, we got away from actually picking up the phone and dialing and talking to each other. And that was the big migration. So this is when we go back, we enabled everybody could in COVID, but how do we simplify the adoption of using voice? Because majority of the business processes are actually just picking up the phone and figuring out, where's that piece of equipment? Where's my manufacturer? Where's my client? How do I do it? I don't need to sit there and actually get online and collaborate with them. I just need to communicate. So again, huge shift. I love the fact, and there's also another study that Adam did, people retain more information just listening. So if you close your eyes, you'll remember more of my speech if you didn't listen to it, because we don't get distracted with the self-view and everything that we have. So again, when we see what's going on, it's really, really kind of, shifted the market and how we actually do it. But this is the big wave. You're going to see the right enablement, the right employees, to simplify the communication paths. Yep, sorry. My exit. Oh, it's open? All right, it's not going to end up? All right, very good. So guys, can you hear me? All right, so when we look at it, it's all about voice. And if I lost my mic, you wouldn't hear me, but I'm pretty loud anyway, so we should be pretty good. So when we look at what we got going on here, one of the things that we see, how do I keep it simple? How do I remove the complexity of everything? How do I connect to UCC, and how do I make it happen? These are the questions that the CIOs have, because they've been challenged. They have the licenses, they haven't enabled them, they haven't moved it forward. And again, how do I get my employees to collaborate and stay productive? Everybody's always worried about how productive everybody is. They are. Everybody's still productive. They're actually more productive now than they were in the past. I think there was actually a 4% increase in productivity in some of the studies out there. But again, how do I run effective meetings in a hybrid workplace? How do I reduce costs? Sorry. Let me just lose this. If I had hair, it might stay on, but it doesn't. So here we go. All right. When we look at what we're doing, again, we see so many different things and wrapped around it. And how do I reduce costs? That's the biggest thing. I have a lot of legacy systems, a lot of maintenance contracts and everything associated with it. How do I continue to do a better way to manage what I'm doing? And then we see that transition to cloud, it's there. Now, how do we actually make it better? And again, that's some of the great things that we do. And we see better ways and better things coming from Microsoft and AudioCodes to make our experience more simplified, easier to use, and continue to get the productivity that we need and desire out there. I love this slide. This shows what AudioCodes means to Microsoft and what Microsoft means to AudioCodes. We've been a trusted partner since, I don't know how many people remember LCS Exchange, but that was a Nortel application server that currently out there, but we did LCS, OCS, Link, Skype for Business, and Teams. And all in this journey, we continue to innovate, elevate, and make it actually work. The SBA and IP phones, OVOC management, OneBox, 365 CCE, these are all the products that we've used to make communication simpler and enable voice within the Microsoft Team environment. But above and beyond that, we continue to innovate. In 2018 to 2022, we have some great things. We added some great new phones, but of course, VOCA and Meeting Insights, and I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. But Live Teams, Live Cloud, and Live Express, this is our platform as a service and software as a service that helps you deliver the solutions that you need and your partners and communities to make it more seamless. Not everybody needs to be a PowerShell expert. No, not everybody is. I've been 20 years managing Cisco and Avaya and Mitel systems. How do I get the Microsoft Teams and make that journey really, really simple? Again, this is what we continue to do. But let's talk about this. This is the best of our intellectual property, all wrapped around in a platform as a service and a software as a service for our large enterprises. This is a simple way that provides dedicated infrastructure hosted by customer or us, your choice on how you want to do it. A lot of customers actually have a lot of legacy stuff out there. We'll take over it, and we'll simply manage the integration of Microsoft Teams and the PSTN for your direct routing. Above and beyond that, we put all our wrappers, all our management, our platforms, and everything wrapped around it, and the best of our services. In addition, you can have all our phones as well as device as a service offering. So again, very, very powerful offering. We've been over 18 months in this, and we've helped tens of thousands of customers migrate either their seats all from their legacy environments and connect those legacy environments and move them to the cloud. It's a huge differentiator, and it's something that makes it very simple. We saw the success of live teams, and our partner community came to us, and I said, I need a shared environment that actually, from a VAR, SI, or MSP perspective, that I can actually simply access and help do that migration of services. So again, it's a shared infrastructure hosted by us, and it provides easily a fast provisioning and onboarding of business customers. And why is this important? We see with a lot of customers that have they have their E5 licensing sitting out there, but they haven't enabled it. These licenses sit, they're not being used, they're high propensity accounts. How do I get them? We're able to go back as a partner and activate those licenses, get the right adoption, get the right MAU, get the right incentives associated with it, and continue to drive that value, not only for my customer who needs to get off their legacy systems, but also getting into the cloud very simply. This is a simple shared environment, and we continue to move forward with it. And then lastly, our live cloud. We know there's some complexity out there, and we look at the largest service providers. We provided a platform as a service and a software as a service multi-tenanted platform for our partners and our service providers to use to provide that dedicated infrastructure by the service provider AudioCodes. And we simply continue to enable the carriers to easily onboard their customers and teams. Many carriers and ITSPs don't understand, they're not familiar with it. They had their own hosted services, their own hosted voice. How do I interconnect these two environments? How do I make it better? How do I enable the Microsoft Teams deployment? So 50% of the market is using Microsoft Teams right now, right? Again, we see this huge shift. And then here you're able to provide not only a white label, but a multi-tiered solution that you can continue to go manage and deliver to your end clients. And this is the power and the simplification of what we have, from AudioCodes. And it truly is innovative. So some of the things I kind of want to capture here, when we look at it, it's a one-stop shop. What is it? It's simply, we own the service solutions, the support services, and the products for you to actually deliver and go forward from there. We look at it, our team of experts, I can bring any one of my experts and they understand voice beyond anybody else out there. And again, voice is not simple. We all know this. If you've been in this industry very long, it's one of those things instantly, like I said, doesn't work. But how do we actually bring it all on board? And again, we do such a great job with this. Direct connection to the product house. Our product house is leading. They're the ones who developed the leading SBC, the leading, #1 management platform out there, all wrapped under one umbrella as a per user per month cost for your users to go do. And again, our references and associated everything at that. And of course, we are the DNA of voice. So, we look at this, here's, again, that's for the live, AudioCodes Live for enterprise. It's a very simple resellable model that you can go to your clients. Audio comes in, B's that voice expert. Not everybody's a voice expert. Microsoft covers so many different tenants. So I think it's up to 5. They siloed them between security, data, and everything wrapped around it. Voice is one of those things you need the voice expert, and AudioCodes is that voice expert to make that happen. So when we look at this, for the Live Express, sorry. Let's go back one slide. So again, when we look for the live cloud and the software as a solution and everything we have wrapped around it, it really is that multi-tenanted platform for service providers. We continue to help people get on to Operator Connect Accelerator. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Operator Connect Accelerator or not, but it's the next stage in the development of interconnecting carriers to Microsoft. And what they've done, we're one of a few approved partners that have the ability to actually work with ITSPs, develop and manage the API interconnect into Operator Connect, and get them onboarded as quickly as possible to Operator Connect. And now they can actually resell their own plans, and they can actually use that, rely on AudioCodes to deliver the overall solution from an overall management perspective, and never worry about API changes, continual management, and continuous certification of the overall solution. So again, our live cloud offering definitely gives everything you need from an Operator Connect management platform, a fantastic portal to go and look at your clients, where they are, who's successful, who's having challenges, what the connectivity issues may be. Is it on-prem? Is it the carrier related? How do we do this? Again, it gives you everything you need, all SBC infrastructures included, so you don't worry about CapEx expenditures. If I need to add a new SBC, that's part of the overall cost. And again, one of the biggest things, this is what we do. We work with Microsoft's engineering teams. Our operator onboarding and verification systems is absolutely brilliant. Our team there's no one in the market that can actually do it any better. And of course, when we look at this, it's about the employee experience and what it means to have that voice connectivity that you need. So again, it really is a very, very exciting time for AudioCodes, and it's a very, very exciting time for Microsoft Teams and us in the UCC, environment. I've never seen such a shift. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I started when it was still analog and digital was cool, right? And then we kind of migrated through the whole path and everything. Switched digital networks, voices, and everything wrapped around it. Right now, with Microsoft Teams, with the value and the value prop they provide, it really, truly is a great time to be in this market. So our direct routing, like I talked about, number one in the marketplace, our analog and PBX integration. Analog's never going away. There's a lot of facilities that can't. Historic buildings, paging, all the alarm systems, everything associated with it, you still need that. What we did do in the last 10 years is Teams phones. This is a fun thing because we're talking about employee experiences. Everybody's like, I got a soft phone, I don't need it. The employee experience at home is probably one of the biggest things, or even in the office as well. There's 5 generations in the workforce today. And what they see and that they do is they need to have a phone that they can use. AudioCodes gives you that capability to provide the form factor that you need so you can continue to communicate. And one of the things is the phone is your inflection point to the cloud. Where are we in what we're doing? This is the first thing a customer touches. This is the first thing they go through. And of course, the meeting rooms. When we look at the hybrid space, we need the democratization of these meetings. We're going to have a multi-mode environment where half the people are in the office and half the people are home. How do we have the same communication experience that I need and that I expect that I used to get when we're all just simple little heads on a screen, right? When I have a conference room that's communicating to a bunch of other people, how can they have their voice? How can they continue to move forward with that conversation? So again, that's really, probably one of the key differentiators. And it's kind of something that there's an oversight on. There's a huge opportunity. Amdia said 365% growth in meeting rooms, simply an add-on and continue to manage it and grade it. But what we also left, when we ran to the cloud and we ran to the over the top and we left our PBXs behind and all the stuff and the people, places, and the processes, well, we take care of the people. The processes associated with that, that was what was left behind. We're on meetings all day long. Meeting insights. I don't have to make an agenda anymore. I don't need to take action items. It's all there for me under the meeting insights. It records everything. I call out an action item and off I go. Again, it simplifies our communication. It enhances what we're currently doing and it makes my life even better. VOCA, one of the things that we also saw was when everybody left their PBX and went from home, simple IVRs, the ability to actually have that conversational IVR or DTMF IVR that they need to communicate and collaborate. You can trial this, you can download it on Microsoft Teams. It's an app, I think it's free for 30 days, that you can actually download and start using that. The other thing that was left behind was our recording. All those recording servers that were sitting there doing the compliance recording that we needed so we can continue to do our business. Our Smart Tap offering is there as well. And then lastly, our OVOC. How do I manage remote employees, remote platforms, disparate global networks? OVOC, again, being the easiest and #1 management platform in the marketplace. So, when you look at everything that we have from AudioCodes' perspective, it truly is a fully diverse portfolio and does everything from a simple ATA gateway to a managed service and professional service and a software as a solution with the best intellectual property wrapped around it to deliver and simplify the deployment of teams. So again, when we look at this, it is just really, really exciting time to be in the U side. So again, AudioCodes Live is that subscription services. You don't need to worry about CapEx. You do not need to build out your solution. You can simply come and subscribe to our service and we can give you everything you need. If you're an enterprise, we have the solution for you. If you're a partner who just needs a multi-tenanted environment to do it, we have it for you. If you're a large service provider that needs to connect to Operator Connect Accelerator, we have that solution for you as well. So I highly suggest that if you have any questions, we definitely reach out to the AudioCodes teams. Our booth is upstairs. It's really everything that we have. And again, we have to take a look at what we're doing and what, the employee experience is probably the biggest push from Microsoft. How we actually communicate and collaborate in HD. How do we make it a better experience? How do we have good video, good audio, good pickup? This is everything that we need to do. Meet from home, huddle room, personal experience. The BYOD space is blowing up. People are ordering them, they're delivering them. If you can set up an Xbox, you can set up a meeting room device. It's that simple. So again, when we look where you are, you continue to build out, you have your own rooms and everything associated with it. But above and beyond, this all can be done as device as a service. So again, subscription-based model for your end clients, for your customers, to simply enable everything that we currently do out here so you can deliver the best experience that you need. Because again, one of the things that we'll see is if the video is choppy, we're not happy. If we can't communicate or collaborate, not really good. But if we lose video, if we lose voice, this is where it all falls apart. We can't communicate. And again, it's the art of the conversation. It's our ability to have these conversations, the ability to enable every aspect of it. When you look at the next move in the next cycle, we took care of the knowledge workers, but what do we leave behind? The frontline workers, right? The manufacturers, the retail spaces. What are we going to do with that? What about the government, healthcare, education? These are the times, these are the folks that actually use devices. These are the folks that need to communicate and collaborate quickly. You go to your nursing station, they're not going to open up a laptop. They need to push a button and join the meeting and get on that call so they can get there. So again, high quality meeting experience, HD audio and 4K video, and the centralized management, so it's not my headache. I can make the problem, I can identify the problem, I can make the problem go away, and I can be proactive about it. Because when we look at the digital employee experience, they need to be productive, and we can't put them back behind that. So again, in summary, some of the things I want to kind of talk about, AudioCodes is at the forefront of this digital transformation. We are very, very unique in this marketplace. We cover everything from a gateway to voice AI and have the ability to deliver that, and we continue to innovate wrapped around it. We are the leader of voice innovation. Everything around UCC and of course our customer experience as well. We're very, very large in the contact center space, and that highly, if you're looking at contact centers and moving in that direction as well, definitely talk to us wrapped around it. And of course, we have the most comprehensive portfolio in the market. So again, when we look at this from a UCC and a CX perspective, we are actually providing the full wrapper and everything that we need from an AudioCodes Live perspective. And our subscription-based service makes it easier for our partners, our service providers, and our community, and our customers to actually adopt, transform, and move that second wave of voice communications and services and business processes into the cloud. So with that said, thank you. Are there any questions? How much time do we have left? 15 minutes, there you go. Not bad. That was 5 minutes earlier than I expected. So again, I have my team here. So if there are any technical questions wrapped around our live services offerings, please, call it out. We're here to help solve your problems. Believe it or not, that is one of the most enjoyable things that I have, since I've been working at AudioCodes, is our ability to quickly innovate, but also make problems go away for our clients and our client portfolios. So again, these are the three offerings that I highly take a look at, especially the one for the enterprise. Large enterprise love it. They actually continue to innovate and renovate and can move forward and actually move that migration and adoption of the E5 license into the marketplace. And again, Live Express and Live Cloud. So any questions? Wow, that's good. Oh, hey, sorry.
In regards to your live services,
yes.
Teams, Live Express, and Cloud, is there any sort of a comparison or commercial details available that we can see whether to go with AudioCodes or directly going with Microsoft, which would be a better?
Oh, so it's not that. So what we're doing is we're helping streamline everything wrapped around the adoption of Teams direct routing within the cloud offering, but also onboarding and from a PowerShell perspective. We're not competing against Microsoft. We're enabling Microsoft. That's why 50% of the voice traffic goes across our platform. Sorry, did I help to answer your question? Yeah. Again, we're the enabler that no one knows about, right? And that's why I started out who we are at AudioCodes. We are the platform that provides, you don't need to be a PowerShell expert. You don't need to know about your FQDN. You don't need to worry about your capacity on your SBCs. You don't need to worry about any of this because it's all built within the cloud solution. It is a simple software as a solution service that you don't have to worry about capacity. So as a partner or a service provider, when I'm going out and selling this, I don't have to worry about scale. I don't worry about building a CapEx model that I can justify in a year that I've actually filled it up. This gives you the capability to consume and migrate your customers as quickly as possible into the cloud. Are there any other questions? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Colin, I don't think there is a minimum user, right? No.
We use a rhythm.
Yeah, we don't have any minimums. Look, at the end of the day, when we look at this from a partner community perspective, Live Teams is for for large enterprises. This is one who wants a full managed services offering and the ability to deliver quick voice to teams and enable that whole entire environment. Live Express, if I'm a partner, this is a great solution. I have the capability to go out there and actually automate, innovate, and deliver voice to my end clients, making sure that I'm migrating those users into Microsoft Teams and enabling their voice and their communication paths. Simply, and it's a multi-tenant environment. It says AudioCodes, it's not white labeled. This is specifically for the partner and VAR community, and then Live Cloud gives you that white label approach and everything wrapped around it. Did that help answer your question?
The Live Express is known as cloud hosting,
That is AudioCodes hosted. Yeah, this is all AudioCodes. If you're looking for a partner, you can either do Live Cloud, gives you the host your own, or we can host it for you. Your choice. Yeah, if you want to host it, we can do that as well. It's up to you where you want from a geographical redundancy perspective, but it's HA, DR, and everything associated with it, and it removes that burden to continue to worry about planning out. You focus on your sale and moving your client to transition to them to the next place and the next place environment. Again, what we do is we remove that burden, the heavy lift of going and enabling voice. We want you to focus on your clients, on your silos that you're experts at, and you let us take care of the voice and the voice enablement. And that's really the big differentiator that we have. Any other questions? Oh, there you go.
So, the standard application is SPC.
Column, I think it's a standalone application, right? Yes. Yeah. So it's actually downloadable, and I think it's a 30-day trial. Am I wrong? 60-day, even better. I would have gone 45, but 60 is pretty, that's good. And it's nice about it because you can actually configure it yourself. It's pretty simple. You download it, you configure it, you choose your tree and how you want to do it. So one of the things that when we moved to the cloud, we jumped to the cloud very quickly is, like I said, we left those IVRs, those IT help desks and everything associated, we left that behind. Now here's your way to simply add this as an app and bring that into the overall environment and have a better path of communications. How do I, I'm a 1,000-person company and I have a 100-person help desk. How do I actually contact them? How do I make that list? How do I reach and how do I communicate in these platforms? And that's really what, Voca can provide you. Any other questions? Sorry, the lights are really bright and I don't have my sunglasses. With that, I thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please come see the team at the AudioCodes booth. And I hope that was helpful and informative. And I'd be remiss not to tell you to grab a cupcake before you left. I'm sorry, I stole that from you. Yes.
Round of applause for Matt Holloway, everybody. Thank you. Awesome. Right, stay there for just one moment. We have a free giveaway as part of this, and it's not the cupcakes. Thank you, Matt.